Yeah. Hi everyone. I hope you and your families are safe. Today we are hosting this webinar on understanding how to manage diabetes naturally with Dr. Shikha Sharma and her team. Just to give you a brief background, Dr. Shikha's NutriHealth was founded in 1998 by Dr. Shikha Sharma, a visionary doctor from Maulana Azad Medical College with a vision to educate and spread health. With over 21 years of experience, we have gained expertise in weight management and lifestyle issues management like thyroid, obesity, cholesterol, diabetes, PCOS, hypertension, and many more. I'm happy to share that we provide services across the world and are sharing over 2 lakh diet plans every month. In fact, our company NutriHealth has thousands of clients in India and abroad who are under the treatment of multiple disorders. At NutriHealth, our team has about 200 members dedicated to serving people across the world. Just to share how we will proceed with this webinar, I have Dr. Shikha Sharma with me. Maybe you all know her as celebrity health expert who has advised ex-prime minister, chief minister, Bollywood actresses, business tycoons, and singers. But before becoming well known in the area of nutrition and preventive health care, she worked as a medical doctor in the intensive care unit of GB Fund. When we think of Dr. Shikha Sharma, we normally associate her with weight loss diets. But actually, she is a medical doctor with deep interest in nutrition and prevention. I have Dr. Vinita with me, who heads nutrition vertical at Dr. Shikha's NutriHealth. She is a qualified BAMS Ayurveda doctor with a rich experience of over 14 years. I have two of our guests, Mr. Gupta and Mrs. Gupta, who have joined us from abroad. So welcome to the panel. Now, without any delay, I will hand over the session to Dr. Shikha Sharma.
Thank you so much, Ashima, for organizing this webinar. And firstly, I'd like to welcome our two guests today, Mrs. and Mr. Anirban Gupta. And it's a pleasure to host you on this webinar.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
And also with me, I have my colleague, Dr. Vinita Sharma, who would be helping us answer queries from all the people, the audience who would be today participating in the webinar. But first, let me go over to Mr. Gupta, that which country, which city are you joining us today from?
I'm joining you all today from sunny Florida. I live, both of us living in Orlando, Florida in the US. And yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And now thanks to technology today that I think technology has brought us closer, and
Yes.
we are able to communicate and meet each other thanks to all this technology. So yes, one positive fallout of COVID has been that it has brought the world together.
That is very correct. So, I mean, when everybody talks about COVID and all the negative things, and of course they're all there, I think how we utilize this time of lockdown and, you know, staying at home and that kind of stuff, it's something that, you know, is totally up to you. You can make the best use of it. You can make the worst use of it. It's totally up to you. I think we made
the best use of it. Yeah.
So we're thankful that, you know, I mean, it came at a time, it affected a lot of things, but for us, it's actually been a positive time to reflect, self-realization, get our act together, get healthy.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's wonderful, amazing, because the reason I say so is that if you really see that once the lockdown started happening across the world, and this is one event which for the first time in modern history has affected everybody at the same time, you know, unlike world wars or famines or earthquakes, where one area was affected, but this event has affected everybody at the same time globally. So some people chose to get depressed. I wouldn't say chose, but I would say they ended up getting depressed. And some people went into addictions also. But there are a certain section of people who actually reflected and decided that let's turn it around to do something which is proactive, positive, and beneficial for ourselves. And I think you are one of those unique people who decided to use a negative situation to a more positive and proactive situation. In fact, there is a book by a Jewish doctor who was held in the concentration camps, by the name of Victor. And he has written a book on human nature and human psychology, that how the same situation uh, impacts two different kinds of people, and one person uses it in a positive way to become better version of
Right.
themselves, and the other person goes into depression or other addictions. So congratulations firstly for being the positive group. And so the next question would be, you're literally, I think, at least 10 or 12 hours away from India, right? 10 in terms of time zone.
Yes.
Of course, the flights would take us longer, but so how did you get to know about this program, and what motivated, inspired you to join literally on a long distance platform?
We had reached a stage where we were very overweight, and we knew we had to do something about it. But then there was his father who had cancer. Now he's fine, he's safe. But when he had cancer, we had to go back to India and take care of him for a few months. And that's when he was, making
Yeah.
rounds of hospital, the Tata Hospital in Kolkata. And he realized that if we don't take charge of our lives now, how life could end up for us. So many disease,
And
and we were in our mid 30s, and
uh,
it was just the age where you contract diseases, lifelong diseases like diabetes probably, or blood pressure, and you have to be on medication for the rest of our lives if you don't take charge and make a change. And that is when we knew someone, a friend who lives here in another part of
the
the
US.
US. And she was a see, a lot of people tell you, but unless you see a live example in front of you, then it's more convincing, and you know that okay, someone we know has gone through this transformation, and then we have more faith in people like you. So she was using your services. She was associated with one of your nutritionists, and we saw her transformation from going down from, as a woman, for me, more than where it's like dropping down sizes. So I was like, oh my god, you are looking so different. And she said, yeah, because she's been using Dr. Shikha Sharma's NutriHealth, and we were like, okay, I think it's time we should also enroll. And we never looked back. It's been more than 2 years, and we just
Yeah.
never looked back.
More than 2 years.
Consistency has been a key, and we just never gave up. And with this lockdown, like we were saying, our nutritionist always just said that apart from the diet, which you both are following 100%, you also have to pay some attention to the physical activity part, which we're not finding time because
Yes.
of the busy schedules. But come March, and we decided that we have to get out of the house some time of the day. And we just one day started walking, and like Forrest Gump, we never stopped. We started running, and we've
Yeah.
been running since then, 5 miles a day. And
That
the
that
transformation has
that
been,
changed. I
yeah.
mean, we would. So I think a lot of people see changing of this habit like as a diet. I think a lot of the thing has to do with the word diet. I
It's
think,
a lifestyle change.
yeah, it's a lifestyle change. And, I'd like to see this more as a getting your nutrition in order. I think, I've always trained my brain in that way that, the more I say or call this out as a diet, the more it will sound as if it's an obligation rather than, changing the way you eat or the way you see food. I was a big foodie kind of guy, and
You still are.
I'm
We
still
still
am. That's
are,
not
but
that, but you understand. Then you know that okay. I now know that okay. If I'm going to deviate, if I'm going out with friends, and if I'm going to have a burger, I need to add 4 minutes to my run because that's what it will take me to kind of burn down some part of the fat in it. And so the brain's now automatically tuned, which I like. I mean, it's not that I stopped eating everything I liked or I don't know, but now I know what really is going to not add value to my body. I know that for sure. Even if I am eating it, I will make sure that I compensate for it in some way or the other. So that thought process is very important. I mean, I'm thankful that I like my wife told. So I saw my father go through cancer in 2018, and I was by his side for like a good 6 months at home, trying to just get him out of the rut. I went to a hospital like every day for 6 months. I saw kids from age 3 to any age and suffer through innumerable stuff. So that's when I decided that okay, I'm just not going to let my body just slip into something and then come back to this place. I promised myself that I don't want to come back to a hospital. So that's when and then when, like she told, so a very close friend of mine in Texas, that person had kind of used your services, and I realized that our body, which is used to eating in a particular way, the Indian way, if you say, and rather than try something which is very you know transitive, like something like a keto or
Keto.
something, it would make more sense that you use your own food, your own food habits, and kind of go around it. And that's why we kind of started on this journey like 2 years ago.
Right. So I have actually a lot of questions, and I'm really curious. But first, let me begin with the statement that we are doing a lot of sessions with the top cancer surgeons of the country, and one thing which is coming out very strongly is that nutrition plays a huge role in recovery and prevention. And something which they continuously have been sharing with us over these sessions is that fruits, vegetables, and fiber, all these things which you would have been recommended in any case, otherwise also for weight management and health management, is also part of a cancer protection diet. So in a way, what is also happening is that one of the beneficial impacts of this whole nutrition program is that it will protect you from several diseases, because fundamentally your body is getting nourished and it is able to regenerate itself much better. So I was in a way delighted when once we were doing those webinars with the doctors, that our patients are going to benefit in multiple ways, which is weight, of course, but much more than weight, other diseases and protection from those diseases. So my second question to you would be like, there's a time difference. There's a huge time difference between Delhi and US. So how did you manage, how did your nutritionist manage to keep the communication going?
So I think one good thing about her was she would actually handle the talking part, and we had lots of questions.
Yeah, we are probably one of the most annoying.
We probably have
Because
annoyed.
I ask so many questions, because my understanding is, if I understand why I'm doing this, I will be more motivated to do it, rather than simply, as humans, if somebody says that do this, even our parents say do this. We have all been told by our parents, wake up at 6 o'clock, go out to work. We would never do it because we are just told to do it. We don't understand why we are supposed to do it. So
yeah.
I asked so many questions, and they were kind enough to accommodate and call me probably first thing in the morning as soon as her shift begins at 9 o'clock. And I'm like, even if it is 9:10, for me, that delays my sleep time by 10 minutes. So I'm like, okay, you're 10 minutes late. And I know I've been bugging them a lot, but then it's somehow worked out, balanced out.
You have to find out. I mean, it's your journey. You have to own it. You have to work out a time where you can do it.
Yeah.
There were lots of times, so I knew that for her, she would get delayed in going to sleep if I went early. So we would both make it a point that, as much as possible, try to talk to your nutritionist. You have to have a comfort between both of you,
And
that you can pick up the phone, call them, talk to them, things like that.
And once they see that we also have a skin in the game, they also, I think, all the people we had to deal with, they have been very nice, and they understand that, okay, they are probably very serious about it. So, and I keep telling them that, look, if I'm giving my 110%, this is what I want from you. And one thing is that just call on time. So they've been very nice, very helpful. Yeah,
and timing is a funny thing. Here in the US, time is like so, and we would really be stickler for time. But yeah, all the dietitians have really helped. I mean, they've understood that how much skin in the game we have versus how much they have. They also would like to help us, and things have always worked out. We have always found a middle ground, and it was our own. So I think we were one of those who we would take every call from our dietitian.
Yeah.
If we miss a call, we would make sure that we would let you know that we have missed a call. We need to talk to you. We would send questions on your hangouts, forums, and everything. You have to make it work. I mean, if you want to get results, you got to push yourself. It cannot be like a disinterested. You have to be all in. That's what I think. That you have to trust. I mean, you've come to a nutritionist. You're asking for help. You have to trust. You have to take their help. There's also an equal amount of work they will have to do on you, but yes, you have to respect each other for what you are. You have to own it. That's it.
Wonderful. That's really
Yes.
Really nice to hear. The next question would be that being in US and of course the plans have been advised. Did you have difficulty in getting the kind of foods which you were advised or which were suggested to you, or any other kind of difficulty you might have encountered? Because a lot of people say, oh, being in India is so easy, but I can't do it if I'm in US or UK or any other country outside of India.
It's no, it's the same.
The same.
It's not much difficulty. We have Indian food available here, and besides, um, like I said, I asked a lot of questions. If there was something which was not available at home, so I would always be like, okay, if not this, what else can I substitute this with, or
Alternative.
alternate? What's the alternative? So that helped a lot, asking questions and understanding. Like I said again, so food, everything is available here, so that's not an issue.
That's not-
Besides, what I think what helped is that since we're both into it together, it helps us plan our diet better. Had it been just one of us, it would be much difficult, because okay, half the time I would be
Yeah, because and it's not easy for both of us too. She is like vegetarian.
yeah.
I am like a typical like out and out non-vegetarian. So planning between both of us when we have different foods in different groups was not always easy. But again, when you're into something, you have to find middle ground. So alternatives. So a good way of starting off with this system is have a section in your house or your home where you can write things down, put it on a board, and follow. So we would go back, if every time we had a question, we would follow back to there's a pillar in a house where all this information is, where what are the foods we can eat, what are the
We have
alternatives.
pinned it on a wall, and
Yeah.
just follow it.
And you have
in the
to-
beginning, we were
In the
just
beginning,
using
you
it
have
as a
to follow it.
reference.
So now we don't have to look at it. It's still
Yeah.
there, but we don't have to look at it. It's now just in the head. But now we just look at each other and we know. And then what also helps is we knew that we were getting a lot of unnecessary stuff from the grocery stores, which we really didn't need. So planning out your own your your meals for a week or for the next 3-4 days, so that when you go to the grocery, you buy targeted. If you don't have extra stuff at home, more often than not, you will end up cooking what is there. That is something we learned, after one or two. So plan. A little bit of planning will help you curb a lot of things. So yeah, that's how. And it's not so difficult. At least in Florida, getting Indian food or typical foods that we eat is not so complicated. It may be a little difficult in the colder states up north. A little difficult, yes, because they are more American than Florida has a good Indian population, so Asian food is not so difficult to get. So, but again, with the advent of Amazon and all other services, it's not so difficult. You can get what you need.
True, true. And so, the top question I think which most people have, and is that, oh my God, I'm going to be eating less, I'll feel hungry, I'll be starving, I can't do this. That's the top thing which comes in everybody's mind. So, how's the journey been with you in terms of, the quantity of food, or were you starving on this journey?
I think we have not
We
starved.
were never,
We
yeah,
never
we
stopped.
were never.
That's what, the moment you said diet, right? People start thinking that you're not going to eat.
You have to starve yourself.
You have to starve yourself.
Yeah, so
Trust me, I have never starved myself. I cannot starve myself. She's still a stickler. She was on the, she was at a better weight point. Like I was, when I started this journey, I was 154 kgs. That's,
Wow, you're looking
yeah.
totally different. And nobody can look at you and even imagine you could. You're looking very
I lost,
different.
I lost 68 kgs. I have lost, like, I went from a size 42 denim. I right now wear 31.
Oh my God, that's
yeah,
just amazing. That's awesome.
I could not walk for more than 10 minutes at a time outside. I run 5 miles every day. It was like 3 degrees last evening. I get into a jacket, everything, wear my glasses, I go out and I run. So it's something you can do anything that you set your mind to. That's
Yeah.
the bottom line. And I have people don't recognize me. People from work who have not seen me for a while, when they meet me, they're like,
because of the lockdown, we have not been meeting,
a lot of people. So
the
when we meet
colleagues, so
people
yeah.
in person, they're like, geez, what's wrong with you? But I'm happy. I'm happy. We recently just took all the clothes we had We
And
had like about 3 suitcases worth of clothes
we had
each.
to donate them.
Trust us, we were so
Because
happy to
from
donate.
3XL he's gone to a medium. I have gone from an extra large to a extra small. I was 98
Wow.
kgs and I am 63 kgs now. So I've lost 35
And
kgs too.
and we have
Yeah.
eaten. It's not that we have not
And we never
eaten.
had
We
to
eat.
starve ourselves.
No, I eat
Never.
my, I mean, it's just that, you have to measure. So we got simple stuff like, measuring your food. You have to do that. I mean, initially you have to do simple things. When you feel hungry, eat something like, a high fiber food like a cucumber, tomatoes. So we moved on. We were never salad
And
people.
it's a learning curve. It's a journey. You realize, for example, if she says you have to have only 1/4 cup of a dal in one meal, and I'm like, how is this enough? But then once or twice you have it, but the third time you realize, okay, maybe if I add more vegetables or water to it, it'll be more, and I'll feel fuller. So it's a learning curve. We learn. We
A lot of it is
in
in the
the
brain.
head, in the mind. Yeah.
It's all in the head. If you can tell your head that, so when I was growing up for 30 years, I can guarantee you I was eating rice 4 times a day. I'm a Bengali. That's my staple food at home. Even now, it's a staple food. If my mom has a chapati instead of rice, she starts feeling unwell. It's that bad. Now, I'm telling you, that's how she feels. So for me, I never thought that I'll give up rice completely. I mean, at least initially. So how I did it is I tricked myself. I thought that, okay, I've got to get at least one such thing which is a vice off my table, because I have to change that habit. So from white rice, I replaced my food to brown rice. It's not a very great replacement, but in your mind, you're still eating rice, right? Then I moved to cauliflower rice. And then after I think about 3, 4 weeks, I did not feel, so I replaced rice completely with vegetables. So then I was like eating good vegetables, and then both
Now
of,
he just has fish or chicken just grilled. Basically, he
yeah.
grills it with veggies, and now there is no urge to have rice. And we decided that we will not bring rice into our house. Instead, every 2 3 weeks, if you feel the urge, you can probably go and have half a biryani or something. That's better. That's less damage
But
than
now we know how to compensate
how exactly.
that food, right? Something which
There
is
is a
oily, heavy. We know how to
learning
compensate.
curve.
So initially we did stop, yes, but then you don't want to give up your life completely. So if you do something good, we award ourselves. So you have to have that award scheme internally built into your system, that you can't be telling your dietitian that if I'm going to lose this weight, I'm going to go and eat this. You do eat, but you compensate. You have to make sure that, okay, the other 2 meals that you're having in the day are on the lighter side, more fiber kind of,
Yeah.
and lose it. So you have to be a little clever, and that's why, like she said, right, you've got to ask questions. The more questions you asked, the more tiny tidbit knowledge you get, and that kind of pushes you over the
Yeah.
boundary every day.
Yeah. So rather than just, okay, I'm told to do this, so I will do it. And then without understanding, sometimes then you don't do it because you don't understand the reason behind it. Like we are told to have infused water every day. So we have around 2.5 to 3 liters of infused water. I have my jug here. So that's the first thing we do. Where is it?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing we do when we wake up. But if we understand why we need it and how it will help us during the day, so then we don't need to be reminded by someone. We automatically do it because it just, removes all the toxins from our
It's
body. The
habit now.
skin glows. Yeah, so many things.
You'll find it so funny. Even when this year hasn't been that great for vacations, but we still managed to go for a small vacation somewhere with the same friends that who actually brought us to the diet for the first time. We went on a trip. We actually cooked indoors like for 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
We actually went to work out all 3 days.
On the vacation, we carry
On
our weighing
vacation.
scale.
We carry our weighing scale on vacations. And it's not that we feel obsessed by it, but we went on a vacation somewhere and it started raining. It rained all day. We had nothing to do.
So we went to the gym instead.
We spent 2 hours in the gym.
Yeah.
So it's like, your habits, it'll automatically change. You have to take the initiation, and then, I think everything falls in place. But it's a little bit of brain training.
And hearing this, you cannot imagine, I'm getting goosebumps because I'll tell you about my journey, how it all started. And when I trained as a doctor, And then I was posted, my first posting was in the Department of Cardiology in the ICU. And every day I would see heart attack patients come, and many of them passed away on the table. And we couldn't do anything for them because they just come too late. And it shook me up as a doctor, as a young doctor. It totally shook me up to the core, thinking that a lifestyle disorder, heart attack or myocardial infarct is a lifestyle disorder. It's not a
Right.
genetic disorder. It's nothing to do with your genes. But losing a patient in front of your eyes, just kind of was traumatic for me. And it kind of, I think, planted the seed in my mind and in my heart that there has to be something which prevents this fatality from occurring. And slowly, then, the preventive healthcare team I set up. And I was lucky that I got wonderful professionals to join me. Dr. Vinita remembers how in early days we tried to work and how we set up. Initially, we were working on different kind of plans which were not working, and finally, we started a system where we would analyze each and every plan, take a feedback, make notes, and then again plan, change things, bring in Ayurveda. So bringing in Ayurveda was a big thing because as a medical professional, I had no idea about Ayurveda. I had absolutely no clue that what a tulsi can do, or a ginger can do, or what turmeric can do. All of them were just spices at home to make a lovely meal or a delicious meal, but I had no clue as a doctor that these are actually herbal. They are therapeutic in nature. Thanks to the Ayurvedic team, we all together started discovering, and then we learned about that. Initially, what we would do, we would make a diet plan, or not a diet plan, actually, you're right, it's a nutrition plan, not a diet plan. And our teams would make the nutrition plan, and then that's it. And our clients would just go, and then after a week, 10 days, 15 days, they would lose interest because nobody was checking in on them. And then we discovered by trial and error that checking in is so important, and hand holding our clients is so important. And so today when I hear this, it really gives me goosebumps because it's been a long journey for us. And this is like one of the high points where we actually see that it benefited somebody who wanted to make that change. But I must say it's an awesome results you have got. Thanks to your commitment, thanks to your perseverance, you actually could be role models because in US, in the last 20, 30 years, obesity has gone from 20% to 60%. And it is a combination of many factors, but it's true today people are struggling with obesity rather than other diseases which have been taken care of through better healthcare. But obesity is become a huge problem across the globe. So you must have been role models now in your offices, in your family, friends. You must have really become role models because you are live examples of taking health in your hands and actually becoming a new person.
It's been a little like that, but what we don't want to do, one thing is not be preachy about it.
Yeah.
We tell people up to us little bit and then say that everybody's journey is different.
Journey is
that's
going to be different.
that's a
Yeah.
USP that we keep, that our journey was
This is how it will work
work
for
for
us,
us.
and
Your
we
journey
have,
will be different,
yeah,
and
we
when
have a lot
you're
of friends whom we have suggested that they take up your services, and a few of them have also. But at the same time, what is also happening is every time we meet some friends, we end up discussing only about the
yeah
diet and how
we
much more have
we
you lost
we
now
don't
since we
want
last met.
that to be
Yeah. So
the center of everything, because we want them, see, we can be role models, okay, I mean, we're happy to help, but I'm not a qualified nutritionist. I can give some ideas, but it's best that a person who's qualified to do
yeah.
this, you talk to that person and that person understands. Because again, at the end of the day, it's like me telling her to do something, she'll never do it. She tells me to do something, I'll never do it. And that's how it
But
will
if the
happen between
nutritionist says,
friends.
then probably he will do it.
I will listen
So
to
so
it.
the same way, when we talk to friends and they ask, okay, what do you do, and we are like, okay, see, saltless dinner has worked for us. I can say that it will be nice, but it may or may not work for you. So it's better you get professional help
we
rather
will
than just asking
we
me
will
for tips.
we will give them ideas that
So
you can do this, you can try that. So somebody's like, oh, if I stop eating salt today and if I start running today, does that help? So my answer to them is always like, okay, don't do something because it's worked for me, it's going to work for you. No, I took a year and a half to get my nutrition game
To even
together,
figure out what is going to work for
what
us.
for me
It
and
took
what
us at
not.
least an year.
It
Yeah.
took us. And then because of all this, I was sitting at home, working from home. I was getting frustrated sitting at home all the time and, not being able to. That's
Go
when I
out.
started to go out, and then, a walk started to a run, and then it became continuous run and things like that. So my journey is totally different. So don't think that, today you get up and you start running and you still eat your crap food, it's going to work. No, you have to get your body to a system. And that's why, I keep always mentioning that it's not a diet, it's a nutrition. You have to be nutritionally, you have to eat the right things for your body to function in a particular way, and then probably exercising will help you. Again, go to a nutritionist to talk, and more often than not I'll suggest them your, because your system helped me, because a lot of the people we talk to are in fact Indians who have repatriated to the
Yeah.
US. So they still eat Indian food, so their body types. And I think, I tried keto and all that for a little bit. That's kind of depriving yourself of the
We
same
haven't
food.
grown up on that food, so it's not comfort food. So if you are uh, going on a diet or like a nutrition or bringing about a change, so it's better to be on on food which is your comfort food, things which you have grown up eating, chapati and rice and curries, what dals,
And you'll be surprised.
rather
So
than
we have adopted a few things here that, so I mean, I didn't think I mean, and everybody has food habits. So she was not someone who would really adopt to new foods, right? If you tell her quinoa at a point, she wasn't really adaptable to that. But then the thing is, like, when we saw different things, when we saw and we read about foods that were helping people or other people lose weight and do better, we picked up habits, we picked up different foods. I mean, the internet is an amazing place if you want to use
if
it
you
really
want to
well.
use it correctly, yes, there are
It's an
so
amazing
many.
place. So we
Yeah.
looked up, Indian stuff that could be made out of, foreign foods, as we call
Yeah,
them, like a
so
quinoa or
quinoa.
bran and stuff like that. Oh, you'd be amazed. There's so many different things you can do. So now, like, not only she, even I, both of us. And again, the good thing we did is we both of us did. So sometimes when she mentally is not there to,
He
eat
pulls me
something,
up, or when he's not up to it, I pull him up.
we have to
So
pull each
yeah.
other up, because it is, I mean, that is the good thing about the human race. If you don't pull up each one up, none of us are going to move ahead.
Very true, very true, and you're absolutely correct. And so, tell me that you must have also been accessing your plans through the app. So, what? So, how did you find the app? Was it convenient? Was it difficult? And how did you find it?
the Yes, there are lots of good things about the app actually. When we started, actually there was another app, but
Yes,
the new one,
changed.
the Vedic app, that is the new one, and that is it's a whole lot different than the previous one. So this is very nice. We have our daily weight chart where we can even see our BMI, and every day I would wait to be in the green zone of the BMI, and when I finally reached it, I was like on top of the world. Besides, there are a bunch of recipes which were useful
Useful.
initially. So like for example, but we tried a bunch of them.
We tried a lot of
We
them.
tried a lot of
And
them,
then,
and
when you go through those recipes, it's, you get ideas too. And then we kind of twisted a few recipes from there. We kind of sneaked in whatever. And a lot of the times when we didn't know how to do something, our nutritionist would kind of tell us that, you can go on the app and look at it. I think the newer app is much better, easier to see, and you can do lots of things with it. I mean, we've been with the system for 2 years, so now we don't really have that problem so much that we need to go back to the app to kind of look
a lot,
a
yeah.
lot and stuff like that. But yes, the options are there. I mean, if somebody
If
wants to use
somebody
and
really
do.
wants to, yeah, benefit from it, then of course there are so many things and so many recipes, so much information there, uh, quite useful.
And we just put up the Vedic app on screen for the benefit of viewers. Now, the Vedic app has two sections. One is for the paid clients who have joined the program or registered clients, and the other is a free section where you can still access all the recipes. And there are many other nutrition plans which you can access for polycystic ovary, diabetes, immunity, kids section. So I would encourage that people who want to first explore and see whether it works or whether they're comfortable, They could look at this app and browse through the different sections, try it out before they make up their mind if they want to if they need assistance for weight management. So one question which comes up in a lot of people's mind is that a lot of people say, "Oh, what's the big deal? Just eat less and you'll knock off the weight." So, what helped you to make that decision? That no, I would rather go for a professional advisory rather than keep trying stuff on my own.
I mean, I did see a lot of people who suggested me a lot of diets. So the most common thing I've seen people do here in the US is something called as a GM diet. I don't even know if it's really, if it's really is a GM diet, but of course I do. Then how the diet, how we've seen is there is an immediate uh, shift or change when you follow that. But since it's not based on anything or it's not customized for you, you can't really keep that weight
Off.
consistent.
Yeah.
So I did that and I found that and I was like, yeah, that's true. So you can't really. So everyone's body reacts differently. Like, if I eat dalia, I'm going to gain weight. I know for sure. But when she eats it, it actually helps her lose weight. So same thing does not work for everyone. And then I saw people who went on, internet-based diets who suddenly had like, deficiency of sodium, sleeplessness and all.
Yeah.
I didn't want to add more problems to my life. So I was like, okay, it's better to have help when you need it because, you need someone professional to guide you through some stuff. So that's why I think, taking professional help is better. I mean, I did the GM diet and all, but then I gained back everything in like a week. So it doesn't help. There has to be a consistency in what you do. It has to be a little life. So when I say lifestyle change, it does not mean that you stop doing everything that you have been doing. Maybe temporarily, yes, but at least until you get to your goals. But I did not spend any time where, I was deprived of the food that I
Yeah.
liked or not. And that's why I keep saying the moment to anyone you say diet, people start thinking, oh, they are going to feed you to pills and all. And the good thing is, I'll tell you very frankly, I have not popped one pill in the last 2 years. I have not taken any medicine, any medication of any sort
Knock
to
on
reduce it.
wood.
Knock on wood. I have never, and that's the biggest. My cholesterol was in the high 300s. Just in these 2 years, I have halved it to 80. I'm in my 80s now. And even my family doctor, whenever we go for a checkup, he's like, if you can do your exercise and you can control this stuff, I'm not going to give you medication for this. So, which is good. And
And also another byproduct of this is that we go on and on about the diet whomever we meet. So we go to meet our doctor annually and for the test, and we keep talking, oh, we are on this diet, we do this and this, and he's like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
yeah, he's like, my
It's working for
prescription is
you.
my prescription is keep doing what you're doing. That's it. That's what he writes, which is okay. I'm fine. I mean, it's good. It's good to have that guidance. It's good to have reassurance. I think these two words are very important. And if you can get professional help, you should, because not everything on the internet will suit you. That's why we said, right, internet is a great place if you have just enough guidance to look at what you're doing. So
Yes,
little hand holding is good.
true. So, Dr. Vinita, very quickly, two, three questions. What are these herbs that our team advises? If you could just explain some common herbs which the team advises and why do they advise? And the second thing is that how do people lose weight without actually cutting down on calories? What is it? What is this magic sauce which we are using that helps people lose weight without really eating less?
So first, I'll take up the first question. So what are these herbs that we normally incorporate in our diet? So these herbs that we incorporate in our diet are nothing but the spices, as ma'am mentioned, present in our kitchen. But we people who have studied Ayurveda for 5.5 years know that they are more than just being the spices. They have their own therapeutic benefits. And the reason why we incorporate them in the diet is first and foremost to detoxify your system, because detoxification builds the foundation for a weight management program. Your body first needs to be clean and then worked upon in a right way. Also, during the process of weight management, when the fat gets, destroyed from the body, or when the fat is being cut down from the body, it also needs to be removed from the system. So these herbs are A, incorporated to detoxify your system, and secondly, to boost or enhance your metabolism, because only then the foods that are being prescribed to you will be utilized and metabolized in a right way, so that they provide you the right nutrition that is needed, and they do not add on to the fat that is there inside the body. The third reason why we incorporate these herbs is to basically get rid of small symptoms like acidity, gas, flatulence that might be a problem, and that can affect the quality of your life. So, as Sir said, I mean, in these last 2 years, he didn't even pop up a single pill. The reason for this is, while we advise you the right kind of nutrition, we also take care of your system internally by detoxifying it, by enhancing your metabolism, and by taking care of these small problems by the magic of these herbs present in our kitchen. Herbs like methi dana, or herbs which are generally used in the infused water, like, it can be black pepper, which can be sprinkled over your fruits, vegetables, salad. All these things, they help you in more than one way. Now I'll take up the second question which ma'am asked. I mean, what is the magic? Ki you are not starving and still you are losing weight. So Sir and ma'am have very beautifully explained that what might work for one individual might not work for the other individual. So this is something that comes from the concept of Ayurveda, which says that each and every individual is different in his or her own way, because they have a different body type or a different prakriti, because of the dominance of the doshas inside their body. And that's the reason we have a team wherein nutritionists work hand in hand with the Ayurvedic doctors to understand this body type of each and every individual. And then they plan out the diet or the nutrition in such a way that the foods which are good for one particular body type is being incorporated for that individual, and it is not incorporated for the other individual where it can cause harm or where it is not that beneficial. So, starving or cutting down on calories alone is something that might not be good for everyone. But yes, incorporating food according to your body type is something that can give you not just long lasting results, but yes, results coming in a fun and an enjoyable way.
Ma'am, you are on mute.
Yeah. And I think what Mrs. and Mr. Anirban has mentioned is that, the way they committed themselves to the whole program, and also they were together in it. So that really helps, because if the two family members, the couple is together in it, it makes it more fun, and there's a lot more sharing and learning while on the program. And of course, you don't have to cook multiple options. So that's really a wonderful way to bond together and to eat together, and in fact lose weight together. It's so much more fun when you're doing it with a partner, a life partner. So I think those things really cover the whole thing. And I must say that today's session has been really fabulous. It's been such a pleasure to meet you, because your concepts are so clear that health is wealth, and it's about how you put it in your mind, how you look at the situation and then turn it around in a positive way. And of course, I must say that obviously it's been a fabulous transformation, which I can imagine. And I'm sure that a lot of people must be looking up to you for making that change. A lot of people talk about good eating, and I have seen a lot of people say, oh, this is healthy, that's unhealthy, or whatever. But really, you have walked the talk. And that calls for really a huge applause, because people who walk the talk are the ones who are really the ones who are successful. Everybody else keeps talking about, but they're not really doing it. And that speaks volumes about your own commitment level. So thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to really host you today. And I must tell you that more than you, we get motivated. Because we feel that the job we do every day, the work we do every day, is really yielding the results which we imagine in our head. So we just imagine this is how it will happen, but you are the people who have actually shown the results, and that's really amazing and encouraging for all of us at NutriWell. So thank you so much, and I wish that you become healthier day by day, so that even at the age of 80, people would look up to you and say, "Wow, these are the people who really walk the talk." You know, that's the kind of thing I would love to see.
I would like to add something, ma'am. It was wonderful listening to sir and ma'am, because I think what we have been advocating all through these years, they have just reiterated that, and it was so satisfying to hear that what we've been advocating is what you've actually felt, and without we telling you, you are telling all those things back to us.
Yes.
So let me also thank you, because Doctor, your team is wonderful. We have, over a period of 2 years and a few months, we have worked with, I think, 3 nutritionists, and all of them have been fabulous, very helpful. Whatever
Yeah.
questions we had, very patiently they have, been kind enough to answer them and resolve all our issues. The doctors, we had a couple of them, we have spoken to them a few times, and they also were very helpful. So you have a fabulous team working for you, and thank you so much for your support, and we hope we stay.
We stick to it.
Yeah.
We want to.
We don't derail. I don't think we ever will.
I don't think we will now, after all the hard work. I mean, the greatest happiness in all of this is, when my mom, who used to tell me that, you need to get your act together, you need to get your act together. When she calls me up in video and says that you need to stop getting thinner. Stop
Yeah.
getting thinner. She keeps telling me, she keeps telling her that, no, not anymore. I feel happy about it. I mean, in some way, I feel happy.
And I'll tell you a funny incident. I was visiting my doctor, and of course, we have our masks on now. So she saw me after, like, it was my annual exam. So she saw me literally after a year, and she was like, "Wow, someone has lost weight." So I removed my mask, lowered it, and I was like, "Hey, do you see this jawline?" And she was like, "Wow." She was like, "Wow." I'm like, "Yeah."
Funny things happen, and now when people notice that, we also feel motivated that it's like a pressure on us also, that we can't let so many people who now believe in us, we can't let them down. So it's motivation for us also. So that's why I know that now my body is responding to this system. I don't want to change it. Why change a successful combination? So thank you
Thank you,
to you
doctor.
and your
Yeah.
team for whatever you put in. It actually works. I'd say that. I mean, I lost so much, and I shared pictures with my nutritionist of my before and after. I cannot believe that I was where I was. So thank you for all the things that you do.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I hope that we all together can spread this whole the whole concept of love your body, honor your body, and because this is just one body we have, and let's just honor it, love it, and just spread happiness and health. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
You're
doctor.
welcome. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.